Can these free agents help their team win in the bubble? The rest of the NBA regular season is approaching quickly, and teams are scrambling to sign the players left in the free agent pool. Many organizations had multiple players opt out of traveling to the bubble, opening up significant holes in their rosters. None of these new signings are expected to drastically alter the trajectory of their new teams, but they could still make a difference one way or the other. It all depends on how prepared they are to play again and how well they fit in with their new teammates and coaches. Today, we're going to go over the free agents who have signed with teams in the bubble and explore the ways in which they can help their new squads. Be sure to stay until the end of the video to find out about everyone who has signed a new contract. And remember to subscribe for more NBA content. Perhaps the most talked about signing so far has been that of J.R. Smith by the Los Angeles Lakers. Smith hasn't been on an NBA roster since he was with the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2018, but he'll finally be reunited with his former teammate LeBron James in Orlando. The Lakers currently hold the top seed in the Western Conference and the second best record in the NBA at 49-14, and they're on their way to bringing the franchise another title. The 34-year-old Smith has played 16 years in the league, averaging 12.5 points per game and shooting 37% from three for his career. He won 6th Man of the Year in 2013 with the New York Knicks and earned his first and only ring with the Cavaliers in 2016, when he was part of the team that came back from a 3-1 deficit to take down the Warriors in the finals. Though he may no longer throw down flashy dunks or blow by defenders off the dribble, Smith is a streaky three-point shooter who can change the course of a game when he gets hot from beyond the arc. He's reached the postseason 11 times in his career, where he averages 11.3 points per game and shoots 40% from the field and 37% from three. Smith is even 9th in made three-pointers in the playoffs right now, and he could easily pass Kobe Bryant and Kevin Durant if Los Angeles gives him decent minutes this year. He may not receive much playing time due to the presence of guards like Danny Green, Alex Caruso, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, but he could give the Lakers a spark off the bench if he gets a chance. Veteran guard Jamal Crawford, who signed with the Brooklyn Nets, will also be an intriguing player to watch in the bubble. The Nets will not have Kyrie Irving or Kevin Durant due to prior injuries, and Spencer Dinwiddie, DeAndre Jordan, Wilson Chandler, and Tayshaun Prince will have all opted out of the rest of the season. The 40-year-old combo guard has come off the bench for most of his career, but he may be called upon to start for Brooklyn. And despite his age, he scored 51 points for the Phoenix Suns in his most recent NBA appearance last season. Crawford's new station with the Nets should offer him a sizable role on a playoff-bound team and an opportunity to prove to the rest of the league that he can still play at a high level. To help replace the production they've lost, the Nets also signed veterans Michael Beasley and Tyler Johnson. Johnson most recently played for the Phoenix Suns, where his minutes per game dropped to a career-low 16.6. He'll have a chance to turn that around with Brooklyn, who will need his crafty playmaking and solid outside shooting in the bubble. Beasley is a strange choice for the Nets, but it's a gamble that could pay off. They could use the 31-year-old journeyman's experience when the playoffs begin, and he could help them stretch the floor as well. When Beasley's jumper is falling and he's making sure he gets his teammates involved too, he can be a force in the high post. However, his fortune can just as easily swing the other way, as we saw last year in his most previous stint with the Lakers when he averaged a career-low 7 points per game and shot an abysmal 18% from three. In a somewhat surprising move, the Los Angeles Clippers have signed veteran big man Joakim Noah to a deal for the bubble. Noah hasn't played the majority of a season since the 2014-2015 season, and his career has been steadily declining since then. The 35-year-old big man is known for his tenacity on defense and all-around energy on the floor, but his lack of an outside jump shot and relatively small frame are not ideal qualities for an NBA center in 2020. However, Joakim Noah may get a chance to really contribute for the Clippers in light of a recent report stating Montrezl Harrell left the bubble to attend to a family emergency. Unless Harrell returns within the next few days, he'll probably end up missing the rest of the regular season, if not more. Ivica Zubac could fill in at the starting center position, but Noah is the only other true center on LA's roster right now. The Dallas Mavericks also received some buzz for signing combo guard Trey Burke for the rest of the year. Burke last played for the Philadelphia 76ers, where he averaged 5.9 points and 13.2 minutes per game. But he's capable of much more, as evidenced by the 6 years in which he averaged double-digit points. Burke is a streaky scorer and he's undersized at just 6 feet tall, but he could give the Mavericks another solid scoring option off the bench. Seth Curry and Jalen Brunson are out for the foreseeable future, and Courtney Lee will not play with the team right away due to his own injury. Veteran guard J.J. Barea probably won't see the floor much, so it will be up to DeLon Wright and Burke to form a competent bench backcourt. Finally, the Rockets also signed a familiar face with Luke Richard Mabute, who played for them in the 2017-2018 season. Thabo Sefolosha has opted out of playing in the bubble, so Mabute was likely brought in to supplant his role. Mabute will likely be one of the last forwards brought off the bench for Houston, but his staunch defense and veteran presence could help the team's younger players stick together when the going gets tough in the playoffs. Even with all of these players signed, there are many guys still available right now. DeMarcus Cousins is probably the most prominent of the remaining free agents. The veteran big man tore his ACL while in the Lakers last summer, but anyone could snatch him up right now. The 29-year-old center may not be able to play at the same level that earned him 4 All-Star appearances, but it's certainly worth giving him a shot. Joe Johnson is another familiar name that could make headlines sometime soon. The journeyman shooting guard is 39 years old, but there's no doubt he could still provide some 3-level scoring off the bench for a playoff team in the bubble. He's a 7-time All-Star himself, and any team preparing to make a deep postseason run would benefit from adding him to their rotation. Perhaps the most confusing name on the free agent list is Isaiah Thomas, simply because of how dominant he was just a few years ago. Thomas bounced around from the Cavaliers to the Lakers to the Nuggets and finally to the Wizards over the past 3 seasons, and he was recovering from hip surgery during much of those 3 years. But he was putting up 12.2 points per game for the Wizards before the season was suspended, and he was a top 5 MVP candidate as recently as 4 years ago. If anyone deserves a chance to really play at a high level again, it's IT. Free agents may not play a season-defining role in the bubble, but they'll add to the entertainment and give fans some more familiar faces to cheer on. More importantly, they could make real contributions to deep playoff runs, and some of them might even win a championship. Remember to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on content, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.